Welcome back, trainers. So we're going to be taking a look at Adventure Week tasks that will be featured, and as well as looking at what happens to this trade here and a few other things involving a couple of Pokemon and talking about some of the most recent lucky Pokemon and catches that I did get, as well as a few new shinies. So with that said, let's get into this and see what we have going on. So this image here is going to be from Trails' Twitter. I will be leaving a link in the description so you can go ahead and follow him on Twitter yourself and keep up with all the information he does bring for the community. And as far as that red X, that's just meaning that there's going to be a certain amount of whatever, like catch X amount of Aeron for the first task there. And then for the second one, we have evolve a Laleep or Anorith, and then hatch a certain amount of eggs, spin a certain amount of Pokestops you haven't visited before. So that is going to be concerning the Halo ones, the Pokestops you've never spun in a very long time, because I do think they refresh after a while, and or Pokestops that are new that you've never spun before. And then moving on, we have spin 25 Pokestops. That's just any old Pokestop. Earn X amount of candies walking with your buddy. So for that one, I mean, if it's going to be like earn 2 candies, or if it's earn 1, obviously it's not going to be too difficult. But if it's earn like 3 and it's for something pretty good, say like an Onix, which you're going to want to try to get because you're going to want to try to look for that shiny Onix, then I recommend you walk something that's just going to take 1 kilometer. Things like a Pidgey, Magikarp, Gyarados, all those kind of like 1 kilometer Pokemon, that should do you just fine there. And then for the final Adventure Week task, catch X amount of Ammonite or Kabuto. And that should probably, who knows what these are going to be rewarding you, but these are going to be the tasks that you should be looking out for. And then we're going to have new avatar items. Go Fest 2019 shirt, Ruin Manic, backpack, hat, shirt, and shoes. So it's going to have the whole outfit there. And then we have Backpacker. So you're going to have a backpack, shirt, pants, and shoes. Another whole full set. So that's going to be pretty interesting. I'm assuming that the Go Fest shirt is going to be for free. And then the Ruin Manic and Backpacker are going to cost some sort of Pokecoins. If they make them for free, then that'd be great. Any sort of new addition for the avatar clothes that is not going to cost you anything is always welcome. Okay, so we're going to kind of put the Adventure Week aside for now, because all that information is going to come out tomorrow. I just want to get those tasks out to you. So let's go ahead and take a look at this trade and see the conclusion on what's going to happen here. So if you're wondering, well, why are you giving him a shiny? Because we were supposed to do a mirror shiny trade, and I kind of just gave him a regular one by accident. So I'm giving him his shiny, and check it out. They went lucky. So we have also been doing Cresselia trades with Chirk here, and seeing if we can get him low enough into the Great League. And I know it's going to be more ideal to do that with somebody of a lesser friendship, so you have a better possibility for that CP to drop. But he was actually able to get a 14.99, and now he has a shiny, lucky Cresselia. It's not like you're going to power that up or anything, but it's a bit of a price to have there for the Pokedex, so that's pretty nice. I personally do not have a shiny lucky quite yet, and this one did turn out to be a fantastic IV. Not that it really matters, because this is definitely not something you're going to be powering up. And then moving on here, this is going to be my 4th shiny Cresselia encounter, so I do believe this is going to be my best one yet. So 16-12, that's not bad whatsoever. And disregard the throws here. I was kind of talking to somebody and we're just laughing about how it was actually shiny, and like, are you kidding me? I wasn't, the one time I wasn't recording like the entry screen, and yeah, I just decided to give it a straight throw. I was like, enough of this, Cresselia attacking me like this. So that was pretty neat. Last raid of the night as well. So we're going to go ahead and hop into my Pokemon here and discuss something else regarding possibly the magnetic lure. I know I said we're going to put the Adventure Week aside, but there's one more thing I want to go over regarding that. Okay, so if you do not know by now, we have new lure modules. So we have the Glacier Lure, the Mossy Lure, and the Magnetic Lure, which in fact, the Magnetic Lure should prove to be pretty nice during Adventure Week, helping the increased rock type spawns, and maybe even bringing something nice to the table. So I'm actually going to go ahead and purchase one of those, and I urge you to maybe give it a shot as well. Don't go out and buy a whole bunch of these or anything like that, but if you're going to drop a lure and you have these sitting around and you're deciding which one you want to actually drop, Magnetic is probably going to benefit most from the Adventure Week, seeing that the specific type of Pokemon spawning from it are going to kind of revolve a little bit around this whole Adventure Week. So just a little tip there for you regarding the lures. Alright, so before we hop into the Pokemon, let's go ahead and look at the news here, because we have some more information regarding more legendary dinner hours. So these are going to be from 6 to 7 p.m. in your local time zone. The first one is going to be on June 5th. Then we have another one on June 12th. And then we have for Kyogre, June 19th. So mark your calendars, get ready for those. Pretty nice. This is going to be a good chance for you to get multiple shiny Cresselia or just stock up on those TMs, rare candies, and items in general, because hitting all these legendary raids at once, your items do accumulate, and it is very nice. Every time I do these, I end up with at least 5 TMs if I'm lucky, depending upon how many raids we're able to do here. And then, of course, the Kyogre, if you do not have a shiny one of those, or if you already do, this is going to be another opportunity for you to possibly get several more. Even though it's still going to make a return, you're going to have, you know, a whole bunch of raids and people out there at the same time, so you'll be able to increase your odds as well as still stock up on those possible items and TMs if you're a PvPer. Now, let's go ahead and hop into my recent Pokemon to see what we have going on here. So I did hatch my first Cherubi. Very nice. I'm not going to do anything with that. Just going to hold on to it because there's really no point. I was able to get a lucky Shellos here trade. Very nice. Still contemplating whether or not I want to actually evolve this one, because it's not going to be in the Great League, and I want it to actually be in the Great League, as well as finding a more ideal IV set with the lower attack, because I know this thing is actually going to be possibly pretty good in future cups, really depending upon the meta. If you have grass type users in there, it's going to be going down very fast when it does evolve, being both a ground and water type. So that's going to be extremely weak to those grass Pokemon. Then I did have 2 Deoxys raids, which, I mean, I guess I can include the catch screens on the side here, but it wasn't really anything too special. You know, more defense Deoxys. If it was a 100, that'd be fantastic, but I didn't get any 100, so yeah. And then we have a Cherum here. Very nice. So that was just a random trade. I did give up a routes, and that did become lucky for them too, of course, obviously. Now for the Burmy raids, I haven't really been doing these too often. Really, you're going to think this is crazy, but I've only done one. So all the raids are going to switch up during Adventure Week, and who knows if they're going to make a return afterwards, and they're just going to, you know, shift from the Adventure Week right back to the ones we had before, but we'll just have to wait and see. That's all right. I'm not really too worried about it. And if we go ahead and hit shiny, let's go ahead and see what we have going on here. So I did go plus another shiny Psyduck. So I think we can evolve this one. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that, because I already have another shiny Psyduck, which the CP is a little bit lower. And I don't know how much people really want these, so I kind of want to hold on to it myself. I want a set, so now I have the regular Psyduck and the Golduck. And I like that shiny Golduck look. I know there's not really much of a change. Its blue color is a little bit darker, and its beak is like more on the pink side, but yeah, no, it's, you know, a little something shiny there. All right, trainers, now we have a little something for the PvP enthusiasts here. This is going to be for the Worlds, the Championships, Santiago, Dortmund, and Chicago. So let's go ahead and see the dates in which these are going to be taking place. So North America Championships is going to be on June 15th in Chicago. I do have my ticket purchased, so I should be there. The Europe Championship is going to be on July 6th in Dortmund, Germany. And then we have South American Championship August 17th. And there you go, in Chile. This is going to be quite exciting. Now, if you're wondering, well, what are the rules? What are going to be permitted? Well, there are no type restrictions. Legendaries and mythical species will not be eligible for battle teams. Okay. Now, you have to make a team of 6, obviously. And you cannot use more than 2 of the following Pokemon. Meaning that you cannot pick 3 of them. You can just pick 2, and that's it. You can't like pick 2 Alterias or, you know, 2 Skarmories, but these are the Pokemon that you can only have 2 of. Altaria, Azumarill, Bastiodon, Lucario, Medicham, Meganium. That's pretty... Meganium? Is that really that? Okay. Probopass, Skarmory, Tropius, and Venusaur. So I'm assuming Meganium's on there because Vine Whip and Frenzy Plant can be pretty obnoxious at times. So I guess that's why they put that in there. I can see why Skarmory, Tropius, Altaria all of those make perfect sense, especially Probopass. That thing is a monster. And I'm sure there's going to be plenty of people out there going over what you're going to be wanting to use for these. I'm going to be pretty busy. I think I'll be able to cover it here and there, but since I'm not really going to compete, I'm not going to really talk about it too much. So there you have it. Basically, that's pretty much it. Regarding the meta, well, that's another story that we can take a look at, I suppose, fairly quick here. All right, so we are over here on PvP Poke. And I'm just going to go ahead and put in all Pokemon. We're going to exclude, obviously, legendaries and mythicals. So Deoxys defense form that we see at the top there, you can scratch that out. And basically, Medicham is going to be taking that number 2 spot and just bump all the numbers up. So we have Altaria at the top with Dragon Breath, Sky Attack, and Dragon Pulse. And then we have Medicham, Skarmory, Azumarill. Now you see why they only limited you to using 2 of these Pokemon. Because, well, they're on the top and they're, you know, dominating the whole meta. And then we have Bastiodon, and then Meganium, Venusaur, Tropius. So that all of the Pokemon that they listed there, basically the top. And then we have Machamp with Counter, Cross Chop, and Rock Slide. Machamp is going to be a legacy with that Cross Chop there. So if you do have one of those, don't know how well that's going to perform or if it's something you're going to really want to use. Then we have Cresselia, which we can rule out because legendaries are not allowed. Sorry for the people who finally were able to get one and now cannot use it if you're going to compete in the Worlds, but that's okay. Nobody else can use legendaries. And then we have Blastoise, Melmetal, Steelix, Wishcash, Charizard, Quagsire, Vigoroth. And there's that Vigoroth we were talking about here. So it's going to want to have Counter, and then Body Slam and Bulldoze. Bulldoze being a ground move. Body Slam is going to be able to continuously happen and kind of spam your opponent with that move there. Frostlass, and then we can scratch Lugia, Umbreon. In which case, if you have a last resort, you're a very lucky person. Let me just tell you that. And if it's under 1500, obviously, for the Great League, that's going to be a very prized possession that you do have. And I'm very envious. I want one very badly. So maybe something you want to test out. Now, Mew would have been very cool and interesting, and it would a little bit of luck and a lot of TMs and picking the right moveset, and as well as spinning that Stardust to unlock the secondary move. Mew would have been a crazy option. Then you have Sableye here with Shadow Claw, Foul Play, and Power Gem, Fortress, and Hitmontop. Okay, Fortress is on there, knocked out. Now we're getting kind of on the lower end. Probopass is down there, but don't let it fool you. The thing is actually really good. Mine currently has doesn't have rock, has Spark, so I need to switch that up depending on the playstyle that I want to go with. I definitely have Magnet Bomb and not Thunderbolt. Got Rock Slide on there, so I need to probably maybe switch it up. Magnet Bomb's pretty good. Rock Slide is also fairly nice, but if you do see, you know, like fighting type Pokemon, it's not going to be doing too much damage. But on the other hand, you will be able to just hit it up with that Magnet Bomb, so really depends. Then we have the newly added Blaziken. Well, not newly added, but newly added movesets. We have Counter, Blast Burn, and Blaze Kick. Should be looking pretty good. And if you're one of the few people that do have Stone Edge, don't switch that up, okay? And it's in the Great League. Don't do it. It may not be the best set, but it's still Legacy and can possibly find some good usability in certain situations. Say you have built up a bunch of energy, you retreated it, and the last Pokemon is, I don't know, say weak to rock types, or maybe not even that weak to rock types, and you just come in with that energy and hit them hard, although Blast Burn is going to be hitting extremely hard too. But say you're going up against an Altaria that had no more shields left, you throw out there the Blaziken, you had Stone Edge, and bam, it's going to be good to go. But let's not think about that specific scenario. I'm just giving you a hypothetical situation there. Golbat, Lantern, and that Utsy is not going to be eligible. Dragonite, I definitely would never, you know, say use that. I mean, it's okay, but you're always going to want to pick Altaria. And then we're getting into the low end. You're not going to probably see too many of those. But I will say this, maybe we should look at a couple here, because some of these other Pokemon are going to be getting slept on, and they could possibly help you take a win, because people will not be expecting it, maybe, right? Munchlax is a very silly one that I don't think would be too useful, seeing that it's going to be weak to fighting, and those possible Metachams as well as Hitmonchans are going to be roaming around there, so that's something to take note of. And another thing regarding the worlds for the rules is you cannot obviously have duplicate Pokemon, but you can go with, say, Muck and then the Alolan version. What they said was specifically that they cannot be the same type, so if you pick a regular Marowak and then you pick the Alolan version, you're not going to have to worry about it because they're different types. Not that you would want to go in there with those two, right? So there you have it for the worlds, and just a very quick rundown on the top meta for the possible Pokemon that you may want to pick. But if you're watching this and going to worlds, you've already been studying up, I would assume, and are preparing right now. And with that said, trainers, I'd like to say thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, this very random video, please give it a very big thumbs up and get hyped for Adventure Week later. Depending on when you're watching this, it probably already started, or it could be happening in a few hours. So good luck out there trying to find your shiny rock type Pokemon, and make sure you pick a good buddy to walk because you don't want to miss out on those kilometers, or at least the extra candy that you're going to get. Take care.